Fellow Africans, my my people, let's let's have this conversation differently. Let's have this conversation differently. I I'm saying this because I don't want to claim to have monopoly over ideas or over facts or over knowledge. Many people, part of you, my people, and people from elsewhere in the world have articulated this very topic in a very comprehensive way. And as such, I do not want to find myself repeating the same things that you, my people, have articulated very well. But what I mean by let's have it differently is I would like to challenge myself, and if you wish, you can join me in this challenge of focusing a bit now on the way forward. And the way forward for me is putting solutions on the tables. Here's the fact. I personally acknowledge and I understand there are many undisputable facts about who we are and where we are and why we are where we are as a people. What is quite disturbing in my view is how the peoples from across the oceans keep on wanting to tell us how to feel, keep on wanting to tell us how to behave, keep on wanting to tell us how to do things. But I'm not surprised by that, because that's who they are. That's what they are used to doing. And that's what we are used to receiving and accepting from them. Now, let's begin here with the solution that I think we need to put, I need to put on the table as a suggestion for us to move forward. First of all, we need to acknowledge and accept the reality, the factual truth, transparently so, that the notion that we are a continent called Africa is a foreign project. So acknowledging it has happened a long time ago. Accepting it happened a long time ago. But is acknowledging and accepting it has it been the right thing to do? Personally, I don't think so. So my proposition is that in all this brouhaha, on all the challenges that we face as a people, there's a need for us to put on the table a discussion that leads us to making a decision on the name of our motherland. We can't allow people to name us, to call us. We know as the peoples from this motherland, how important the name is to our existence. So we can never claim to want to unite or have the capacity to unite while uniting in the wrong ways and using the wrong name. So the conversation and the decision about getting rid of the name Africa and having all of us from Cape to Cairo, from Ouagadougou to Accra, we need to get to that point of name changing. We need to change the name of the continent. That's the first thing for me moving forward. Secondly, if it's not good for others to be divided, why do people who believe that it is not good for them to be divided want us to divide? Not so long ago, to show that they do not agree and they disapprove disunity, they established what we've now come to know as Europe. They even united their currency under what we know as euro. So they even established what they call, and we have come to know and we have accepted them as the European Union, right? That's just one example. So if Europeans say it is good for them to unite, if the Americans say it is good for them to unite, if the Chinese say it is good for them to unite, why is it that we are expected to stay divided and to stay with fragmented currencies? So the second point is we need to unite. And the speeches that has happened for many years with those who came before us talking about unity, we know that the speeches have never reached any objective. It's well and good to say things, to speak things, but it's another to do things. So we can't afford to continue doing the same things over and over again and expect different results. We must unite. We must not talk about uniting. We've spoken about uniting for a very long time. It's enough. We've articulated things we wanted to articulate, and we've generation after generation presented what we believe to be facts around our unity and around our disunity. That's enough. We can't talk continuously. It hasn't taken us anywhere other than to a place where the peoples from across the oceans want us to be. So the name is on the table. Our unity is on the table, and our currency is on the table. We One of the things that I would like to raise also aligned to this is how do we do this? I don't want to bombard you with a lot of things, but the question is, how do we then do the three things that I've spoken about? How do we come up with a new name? How do we come up with our own united currency? How do we unite? Meaning, how do we do away with the borders, colonial borders? How do we do away with the colonial name, the colonial currencies, and the colonial borders? I think those are key fundamentals that we need to focus our energy on. And I'm going to come up with a few propositions on how we should do this. But this first part of my engagement with you is just to say, here's my approach. Is it something that you believe we need to do? Look, as I stop here for now, as I pause here for now, I want to take you into my own confidence. I know that there are many of you who are going to disagree with me. There are many of you who are going to cast aspersions at me. There are many of you who are going to insult me. There are many of you who are going to want to take me down. There are many of you who are going to question my credibility and do all the usual things we do to each other that have kept us in this mess for this long. I come to you not as a perfect human being. I come to you not as a person with titles. I come to you in the most humblest way possible. I come to you as a child of this motherland. I come to you as a son of the soil. I come to you as somebody who has the right to add value towards our unity. So you might not like anything about my life. I implore you to not divert this conversation to where we have already been. If you didn't know, there are people who have already dragged my name in the mud. It has never done anything to me. If anything, it derails and delays the projects that we're supposed to do to achieve at least the three things that I've put on the table. So let's not waste time on personalizing issues. There is no one, including you, who will attack me shortly. There is none of us who is perfect. There is none of us who will come forward and be this squeaky clean person without any one of us suspecting something about them, or without any one of us not liking them, or without any one of us not believing them. Even if we took you that hates me, that will want to do anything to talk down on what I'm presenting, even if we took you and we put you here where I am, there is going to be other people who are going to do the exact same thing that you are doing, or even worse. And I don't care who we do it to. We have done enough of that. Indoctrination has maintained that we do that, and we have accepted. I think it must end so that we can focus on the job at hand. I'll stop here for now. Thank you.